London is red. Chelsea and Tottenham suck. City are facing 115 charges, and the Premier League just don't give a How's it? Got to take that down. There we go. Now you can see our bright, smiling, beautiful faces. Fresh off 2 London Derby victories, both of which feel pretty good, fellas. Feels pretty good to be sitting here. But yeah, lots to get to today. We've got a full house welcoming back in. Finally, he was not able to join us last week, but we've got Glenn. He's smoking something. Is that what is in front of you?
Oh,
is that a bong? Is it a heater? What is
no, my daughter took my microphone and gave me her old one.
Oh, well, hey, at least she gave you her old one.
She's like, Dad, you're on once a week if you're lucky. I'm on every night. Fine, whatever.
Wait, you're on every night?
She is.
No, she is.
Oh, she is. Never mind. I'm like, wait, huh?
Hello, everybody. I'm Glenn.
I'm
Glenn, AFC New York, on YouTube and Twitter, X. I have a video of my first trip to the UK. I'm going to start making game videos again now that there's not a game every other day. And I'm glad to be here to talk Arsenal footy with the boys.
Footy with the boys. Kind of like that. That's got a nice ring to it. We got to figure out something to do with that. You're very dark, though, Glenn.
Am I dark? It's dark?
It's very dark where you are. Are you on the moon?
I'll try to make it more light. Hold on. I'll try to make it more
Anyway, beside him, Ryan, in the ATL. What's up, man?
Howdy. Nothing. I'm excited to talk to you guys. It's been 2 weeks. I didn't get to talk to you guys after the 3 games that we played. But yeah, I mean, what a better time to talk about the NLD than now. So yeah, what's up?
Yeah, right. Especially after the coming off the destruction of Chelsea too. So and as always, my partner in crime, my co-defendant in Connecticut, Ryan, what's going on?
Nothing. It's about time. I feel like this game happened like 2 weeks ago.
I know, right? It's so weird. It really does feel like we've been. I mean, okay, so we went like I guess almost 2 weeks without doing a show, and then we came back and we had the recap of 3 or 4 games. But yeah, it does. It feels like this game was like 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Ryan and I have also been a bit under the weather. Arse bros, Ryan. Probably because he is an arse bro is why he's feeling sick. I don't know what my excuse is. So insert your joke here. Anyway, so fellas, let's get right into it. I've always said after games that I do look at context of games. I look at the context and I'm not always thrilled after a win. I don't like the way that we played. I don't like this. I don't like that. And it's like, yeah, 3 points, but we've got a lot to clean up. I am over the you-know-what moon. I'm over the frickin' moon to beat those shitbags. I love beating those shitbags. There might not be a better the only feeling better in the world for me than beating them. And I think the 3 of you disagree with me on this. But for me, the only feeling better than beating the 3 of them is coming home from work and the reaction that I get from my dogs. Like that, like seriously, like that's it. Like I come home from work and I'm exhausted and I'm tired and I might even be a little drunk sometimes because that's what I do.
Sometimes.
Not all the time. Not all the time. But I come home and and they're always happy. They're always happy to see me, and that's having dogs for you. They're always happy to see me. The next best feeling in the world is beating those scumbags. Not even, I know that Ars Bros, Ryan, OG, I know you hate United more. There are people who hate Chelsea more. I hate Chelsea and I hate United because I'm an Arsenal fan. I hate those scumbags because I'm a human being. Like, I just,
I have a question for you when you're done with your rant.
I think I'm pretty much done ranting. My point was this. I don't think we played particularly well Sunday. I don't know how you guys felt about it. This is one of those that if it were like the 5th game of the season, I would have had a lot to say about the context of this game and how we played. I don't really have much to say. It really is. It really is. And I don't know why this year and in this moment it's hitting me differently. But this is the first time that I've really and truly been able to say, yes, it really is just all about 3 points now. I don't care how we get them. We lie, we steal, we beg, we borrow, we deal. I don't care. See what I did there? That was good. Somebody write that down.
Yeah, that.
I care about the context. Get the 3 points. Get it over the line, and be done with it. Glenn, go ahead.
Yeah, for all the reasons you're happy, I am also happy. And as far as the Spurs game, that's the result is all that matters. And it took me telling myself that about 100 times after Raya let them back into the game. But it's about the 3 points. Anything about Raya can wait till the end of the season. I don't think he's a long-term answer. But anyway, I'm in a good mood, and let's go, man. I really think we're going to win this thing. I really, really do.
Was there a question in there, or was that it?
I didn't want you guys to answer that. That's a hot potato
No,
question.
I want to know. The Raya thing. We'll get there. Hold on to it. We'll get there.
Okay.
Real Ryan, take it away.
I mean, how can you not feel great about the win? I mean, I think I was a lot more nervous on the build up to the game than I was when the game was actually being played. I just have so much belief in what we do now. I just don't get as nervous about these as I think I have in the past. But it's so good to just the whole way it plays out. I know we'll get into different moments in the game in totality, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy. I mean, I think I have like a little Whoop band. I think my heart rate was like 121 or something like that. Like the last 5 minutes left, just because I couldn't. But yeah, I mean, just like what Glenn said. I mean, at this point right now, 3 points, go into their spot, get out. However it comes is fine with me. And we'll break down what we think happened, but yeah, I mean, I couldn't be happier, because for me, of the games we had left, I know most of us think, and I think we all think, that we got to win out. That was the one I think we were most nervous about, because we had 3 games in between their 2-week break, and we knew we were going to be on tired legs and travel into their spot. So yeah, just 3 points, all it matters. But I'm sure we'll discuss.
Yeah, OG.
I mean, I'm a little, I guess, different than you guys. I'm happy we won, but I don't know. I never liked them, but I was never like as giddy as a lot of people. I mean, I get it. I'm not from England. I understand that. But like the last couple of years, it's like since we got good, just another team to me. They're just so bad. They're not even like, I don't even like, to me, a rival has to like challenge you. And you have to like kind of compete with you, and kind of like it's like a give and take relationship. I mean, I don't know. They're not good. We let them back in the game. They didn't get themselves into the game. I'm happy. 3 points. Probably, I don't know. Probably, definitely top 3 worst performances of the season. I would say top 3. Yeah. Okay. We were very bad, but it's funny. It's funny because like how bad we played and we still won at their place. That gets me. I guess to wrap it up, it gets me excited. Then it brings you back to like, okay, no, I am happy because, this is one of our worst performances like in a long time. I think it's top 3, and we still beat them. And we were the reason they got back into the game. We were the reason they scored 2 goals. They didn't really do anything. So, I think it's what Ryan says perfectly. It's just, we have to just keep winning. We have to win out. If we don't win every game, then the title's gone. And it's I don't know if you people like it, people don't like it, but it's going to come down to the last week because City's Tottenham fixtures are right before the last week. I think it's like the Tuesday or the Wednesday before the last week. So they're not going to
tell you.
They're not going to pass us until the last week of the season. It's
Tuesday.
Yeah. So I think that's the day. That's the day where things will, pretty much be decided. Not like for sure decided, but it'll really put things into perspective as to what we need to do to win the title.
Glenn, you're muted.
You've been muted, Glenn.
That new mic.
Glenn, you're still muted.
There
you go.
I didn't want to interrupt Ryan, so I muted myself. I loved that is like the ultimate diss to Tottenham. What Ryan did, I frigging love it. Where it's like, well, we beat him. I don't even look at them as a threat. I would feel even more insulted.
I agree. I agree with it 100%. I agree with everything you said 100%. Go ahead, Glenn. Go ahead.
No, but I had to say this one thing. I wanted to say this right after you went off, BG, about how you love it and F them and all this stuff. I felt the same way until my trip to the UK. The video was on X and YouTube. And my very first trip to the Emirates, I didn't want to take the tube, so I took a cab. And 30 seconds into my cab ride, my cabbie told me he was a Tottenham fan. and I just like, F me. And then he says, I like the way you guys play. And I said, I like your manager. And then it turned into a real ride. And like he became a person, not a Tottenham fan to me. And so now, and he was such a pleasant middle-aged man too. So now I can't root just as much as I used to against them because I always think of that cabbie in London. I'm sorry, I babbled on there.
My only thing is this, because I agree with everything that Ryan said. To be a rival, there's got to be some give and take. Both teams have to be good, right? And it's not that they're not good. I mean, if they were shit, which they are, but if they were more shit than they are, they would not finish where they do. I mean, they are, for some wacky reason, considered one of the big 6. Don't know why they don't ever win anything, but they are. And they do, finish right in that neighborhood, right? Anywhere from 4th to 6th, but they're usually right in that neighborhood. So they are decent, as hard as it is for me to admit that. But the reason that I don't like them is because you have nothing. You have nothing. You can't spell trophy, let alone win one. You can't even spell the word. That's how bad your trophy drought is. And yet you want to banter us. You want to banter the Arsenal. Are you out of go back to Middlesex? Go back to Middlesex. If North London ain't for you, go back to Middlesex. United, I know why everybody hates them, and I do too. But you guys might hate me for saying this. It's more for Sir Alex Ferguson than it is for any of the players or the club itself. It's Sir Alex Ferguson, but there's a respect from me there for him, and it extends to them. There's never been a player that has come through their ranks and I'm like, he's that guy that I would love to have him. I just hate the shirt that he wears. Example of that player in another sport would be Derek Jeter. I hated the jersey that he wore, but I love Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter's a cock.
I just have to say,
but I also don't live in New York, so I do get it. But there was never a player that I looked at on United and was like, I would love to have you at Arsenal. I just hate the shirt that you wear. There are players that, we're very good, obviously, that have come through that program, that club. But I've never liked them, and I've never wanted any of them at the Arsenal. But there's a respect there for them, for Sir Alex Ferguson and what he accomplished and what he achieved. Not to say that he didn't have the refs in his back pocket. I'm sure he did. But
how long has he been retired? How long since he left?
They have more than we do.
Wait, Ryan, before you rip him, just
he's going.
Just I won't rip you. It's just it's weird.
No, it isn't weird, because I feel the same way. I never saw a manager I was afraid of like him and respected more. I can tell you with Manchester United,
you
honestly,
hate what you fear.
Yeah, I can tell you honestly. Yes, absolutely. I can tell you honestly, I probably rooted against United 98% of the games I watched them in. And, it was probably an ulterior motive that I rooted for them in a game or rooted for a draw.
Sure.
There was only 1 year where I truly hated Ferguson and United, like with a passion. And that's when Van Persie won the title for them. Oh, my God. That was like so freaking anyway,
it's a healthy hatred, but it's a respectful hatred.
I have
no respect for Tottenham. I have zero respect for them. They're not good. Their footballing is awful. They're not fun to watch, and they're a bunch of whiny little bitches. I can't stand Harry Kane. And even now that he's at Bayern, now I hate them too. Even more than I did. And Son, I have to be careful of what I say about him. I have to really be careful about what I say.
Dude, you hate Harry Kane so much, but all right, US is eliminated.
As much as I hate Harry Kane, multiply that by about 55. That's how much I hate Son.
How do you ever root for England when you're watching the World Cup?
As I've said before, I don't.
That's
really
easy.
care.
I don't root for England.
Right.
Oh, got you. I root for them as much as I do the US. Okay.
I don't really care, to be honest.
Okay.
I'll watch, but it's more background noise than anything.
Okay, else. I didn't know. I mean, it's
Ryan,
fun.
Where do you come down on the hatred of these teams?
Yeah, it's just Tottenham to me are annoying. You know what I mean? Like they haven't done anything to, they've never beat us in a cup final. You know what I mean? Like, to Ryan's point, like, they actually have to do something to you for me to have that level of hatred. And I think those games against United, when we're both going for the title and it's 1 and it's 2, it's just like, those are the ones that get your blood boiling. You know what I mean? Ruud van Nistelrooy and Roy, you know what I mean? It's just like those games. And when I was young watching those, like, just sometimes either had me enjoy or had me in tears. I'd be so mad about how they went. Tottenham's just annoying. Like, and to your point, I just don't get it. Like, they haven't won anything for 40 years. Like, there's nothing for them to be excited about ever. I mean, we have fans that are on X talking about this team. Like, they're so young, they've never seen them do anything. Not a League Cup, not an FA Cup, nothing. So they're just annoying. And for them to try and, to your point, try to banter us about being a small club and things that we do, like, please.
Yeah, like,
it's
where
just
do you off?
It's like, I don't know why you've been talking to us. Like, don't.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You're not at the big
listen.
Don't
at the dinner table of Premier League clubs, you're at the kiddie table.
Right.
When all of the Premier League clubs come together for Thanksgiving dinner, Tottenham gets sat with the children.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at on it. And yeah, I think because of what Chelsea have accomplished, and obviously United so much, and Liverpool. I mean, yeah, those teams I respect, and it's annoying, but like, I can at least understand why they're talking shit. I don't understand why any Tottenham fan would say anything ever to us. Never.
I'll even go as far to say this, and OG's head is probably going to explode when I say it. I probably, in this very moment in time right now, probably hate City more than I hate United. Yeah,
City is my most hated team because I hate cheaters.
Well, and that's probably the biggest aspect of it. Even if they didn't have the 115 charges pending, and they were above board, and no one questioned how they got to where they are. It was just, hey, they figured it out. They hired right, they scouted right, they purchased right, and they play right. Fair play. You did it. You did it. Yay. Congratulations. But the way they did it, no. Screw them. They're cheaters, just like Glenn said, and I have no respect for that. I have no respect for them. And like I said, I probably hate them at this moment in time more than I hate United. United are up there. They're probably third on the list.
If City played a team of convicts like the longest yard, I'd root for the convicts.
I mean, I'll put it to you very simply.
Do you realize, Glenn, in both movies, you're supposed to root for the convicts?
Oh, yeah, right.
Damn.
Glenn, I've got a better one because I use this one for
anything's better than that one.
If City and ISIS played a game of football, oh
my God, I'm not
all right, let's. All right, you're crazy now.
Point made. Anyway, let's move on. So as I kind of said before, let's get into, first of all, and I wanted to get this out of the way, but OG had said something, and I wish I could remember what it was now, but it would have been a great segue into my headline. Glenn, take your earphones out.
Why? What'd I do?
My headline after Sunday would be good teams, great teams win even when they're bad. And that's where I think we are now. Because I don't think we were good. I do not think we were good. I don't know if it was what Arteta wanted to do. I don't know if this is how he came out wanting to play. OG, when you and I were recapping,
you wanted to play bad.
No. Let me hang on. Remember how we said about the Bayern match that we looked like we were trying to not lose it. We weren't really going after it much, and it's hard to say that we scored 3 goals in the first half. People are gonna be like, we scored 3 goals in the first half. What are you talking about? Not going after it. We just seemed to sit back and play counterattacking football, which worked. No. But boy, to me, they looked dangerous. And I don't feel that it was because of anything they were doing. I think it was us making them look better than what they are. I don't think we played particularly well. I was very nervous. I sent OG a text and said they're going to tie this game, and it worked. By the way, it's like
I guess another thing. I'm going to say it to we have witnesses. Don't ever do that. You did that. I was fine. I was like,
but it worked.
You said that. No, but it doesn't matter. But you said that. It got me annoyed. And for the rest of the game, I was just like pissed off and like, I was like, this fucker's probably gonna be right. Like, fuck this.
If I didn't love him as much as I do, like I would just start. Like I'd send him a text right now and just say we're gonna lose to Bournemouth. Like I would just fuck with him.
I mean, now during the game, I don't care if you said it to me now.
And in fairness, you did say that you were behind me, so I can understand why.
Even if I was, I mean, yeah, that definitely made it worse because someone messaged me something and I found out that we conceded it. I was only like, so it's so weird. So my cable provider done this the last 3 or 4 Arsenal games where when they come back from halftime,
that's weird.
It'll come back from commercial and it'll show like the players coming out of tunnel or like Arteta on the bench or something. And it'll like show like another commercial. It'll like go back, show another commercial, and then go back to that same thing that I just watched. Weird. Very bizarre. Yeah. So like I'm already like with my current streaming service, I'm already like 30 seconds behind ish. Not terrible, but with that commercial second half, I'm like behind like a good minute.
Oh wow.
So that sucked. So like I was annoyed about that. But I think even if I was watching it like live, I don't know. I hate when people do that.
I won't do it anymore. I won't promise that I won't do it anymore, but I will try really hard not to do it anymore. Glenn, what's your headline? You had your hand raised. Go for it, and you're muted again.
Why don't you just keep yourself unmuted and just not talk? Is that like really that hard?
Yeah.
because I'll interrupt you guys. I have to mute it.
It's Glenn. Glenn, we interrupt each other. It's what we do. Just
Glenn, today's word of the day is self-control. Glenn doesn't have self-control. Everybody, word of the day is self-control.
If I didn't have
Yours, Glenn.
self-control, I'd be telling you to go fuck yourself right now.
No!
Glenn, you have to mute your mics. You have no, you just literally can't sit there with your mouth like this. Just nope.
All right, look, guys, you're making me crazy because you're overanalyzing that second half. Raya let them back in the game. That is what happened. Okay.
What?
It's as simple as that. It was, Arteta did this or we did. Raya let them back in the game. We were all sitting there. I was smoking the biggest fucking joint because I was so relaxed. And I was like, what the fuck? And I immediately wanted to go on X and start saying shit, but I didn't. Anyway, my headline, I just had to say that. My headline is good versus evil for the Premier League title. Everybody knows who's good and who's evil. And they are going to slip up. Fellas, they are going to draw somewhere along the line.
I have nothing to say to that. From your lips to God's ears.
I'm so confident. I'm so
from your lips
confident.
to God's ears. Real Ryan, go for it.
I mean, for a headline, I mean, for me, honestly, it's just, back to back has never felt so good, man. Because I think it's the first time in 30 years that we've beat them at their spot in consecutive seasons, which is awesome. You know what I mean? Because normally it's just like, hey, we'll probably, win at home. Hopefully we can nick a draw, but usually it's always a split, right? Has how it's been historically. Yeah. So it's been awesome to win so much in their brand new stadium recently. And I just think that, this team has just shown me a lot. Previous years, I think these are just results we're not getting. And, just to speak about the game a little bit more, and I know we'll probably go, a little bit more in depth with everything, but I honestly think that I think Arteta basically coached a 4-0. I don't think we played well in the first half, but I think what we wanted to do was, have them kind of come onto us and we just hit them on the break. I think that was the plan the whole time, right? We have tired legs, we got a lot of minutes under these legs, and it's just going to be hard to sustain that in a North London derby for an entire game, especially knowing we probably drop off quite a bit in the second half. And I thought we were good in the second half. I think we were just a few minutes away from them just completely giving up until, what we saw happen with Raya, which is unfortunate. But it honestly just, I know we'll probably speak about it more, but just in my eyes, it just looked like mental fatigue. I think, he saw a ball he could maybe clip to Party, didn't see Romero right there, and just at the last minute still made the terrible decision to play, even though Gabriel was right there to his left for the easy pass. And after that, obviously we know what happened, but yeah, I mean, to beat them in back-to-back seasons is so awesome. So that's what I'm really focusing on, and obviously the fact that we got the 3 points is really the main focus.
Yeah, I don't know. I was, despite the 3-0, it's like, okay, first one, okay, earned the corner, but it's an own goal. It's a great ball from Saka. It really is. But and then Saka's goal, obviously, that's a counterattacking goal to a T. And then Havertz's header is great play. I feel like this really was. I'm not even saying this like tongue in cheek or trying to get a laugh, because usually that's what I'm trying to do when I say this. But this literally was, to me, a first half of moments of brilliance, followed by, I'm not going to say hours of disappointment, but followed by just like squeaky bum time, because it just felt like they were on the cusp of scoring a goal, not because of anything they were doing. I just didn't feel like, I just don't feel like we were in it. And maybe that's because, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, OG, by all means, jump in on this. But I felt, I feel more confident. This is, I'm a flip-flopper to the umpteenth degree, and you guys can call me out on it. I'm more comfortable when we are in full control of possession.
That's
I
why
was-
you felt bad. Go ahead.
You're absolutely right. It was squeaky bum time the entire game for me because I just felt like they were on the verge of breaking through, and we just seemed to let them come on to us almost like to the 6-yard box. I don't know. That's just how I felt. And to my back to just to kind of summarize here in my headline, but there you go. This is what great teams do. I don't feel like we were at our best. I don't think we played our best. And maybe this is why I said to, like, when OG corrected me, it's like I think the counterattacking thing, to kind of sit back, I think that's what Arteta wanted us to do. I just don't think we were particularly great at that part. And then especially in the second half, I mean, the Raya thing notwithstanding, that's a bad individual moment. Like OG said, we really didn't give them anything. The Declan Rice thing, I know he's trying to do. He missed. It's kind of a stupid, idea that, inside the box, but worth it.
I love to watch the stat show.
Why is it worth it?
Well,
because he almost kicked Ben Davis in the jumblies.
They don't have balls, dude. They don't have balls.
True. Whatever. He almost kicked him in his gash. Then I guess.
When it was 3-0, I felt like we were spanking them, even though they had the majority of possession, and I couldn't figure out what Arteta was doing, but I'm like, this has to be part of the game plan, and it's friggin' beautiful. And to me, whatever the hell he was doing, which I still don't understand, if Raya did not make that mistake, they never would have got back in the game. It would have finished 3-0, 4-1, something like that. It just makes me wonder about Raya. I swore I would not badmouth him after he got us out of that penalty shootout. I'm just saying, after the season, I think we all need to ask ourselves sincerely if he's the long-term answer. That's all I'm saying about that. I don't want any, I'm not trying to be a dick about it.
I'll give you one real quick response.
Okay.
You're looking at one thing, and look, if you would have said this 3 or 4 months ago, I probably would have bit, because I love Aaron Ramsdale, but you're looking at one moment and saying Raya's not the long-term answer.
But dude, Bayern at home. We lost that series at home. That goal was his mistake, the one that Gnabry put in. We've been doing this a long time. There was a time where Ryan rightfully was saying Raya has won the job. He's been spectacular for months, and that was true. Now he's going through a bad spell. I'm just looking for a little bit more consistency, especially in the big games. That's all I'm saying. This is a topic for another show, because I feel like this could go for a while.
Get in there, but
Glenn, we are gonna do this as a show. I'm just gonna give you a fair warning. I think you're gonna be in the minority on that one.
I'm used to it.
Anyway,
before this show ends, please, Ryan, OG, that's what they call you. Can you tell me if ESR has a role on this team? I know, because Arteta speaks highly of him, but he doesn't play him, and it just makes me mad. It's just like, whatever. So before this show ends, I'd love to hear your answer on that.
Well, before OG, I don't think you gave. Did you give a headline? No, give me your headline. Sorry.
Sleep now, celebrate later. I don't need to really elaborate. Just we slept walk through that game. We were dogs.
Yes. Yes.
And we still won. So hopefully we're celebrating at the end of the season. And if Glenn was listening, which he wasn't, I did say that we were the reason they got back in the game. They didn't do anything. We were the ones that shot ourselves in the foot. And you could blame a multitude of players on the pitch. But yeah, it was us. So, yeah. So hopefully, we get our rust. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how we have rust, because we've been playing so much, but shake this one off and we go again for Bournemouth.
Yeah. Is there anything, I mean, the David Raya thing, the Declan Rice thing, look, I just, kind of pissing around there with Declan Rice. I've said my piece on the game. I don't know that we really need to get into, I mean, the I mean, if we want to talk about any of the goals that we scored, I think the two not own goals, the two goals that we actually scored, were both brilliant.
Yeah.
We're both brilliant, and very clearly, we are A, very good at set pieces, and they are B, really bad at set pieces. And in fact, they conceded from another set piece today.
Yep.
And I believe that game is done. I believe it's a 2-0 final. Yeah.
Yep.
Mikey Hers was saying that he was rooting for those shitbags because he wanted them motivated for City.
Yeah.
I guess I'm.
Well,
I'm trying to figure out why.
Well, we want them to at least be in touching distance of Champions League. If Champions League isn't on offer, then yeah, they're not going to care about that game whatsoever. But if they want that, they already effed it up. But if they had,
they didn't yet. They're seven back of Villa, and they have a game in hand, so they can. Yeah, they can 35. Yeah, they can still acquire 9 more points.
They got to play Liverpool at Anfield, and they have to play City. They fucked it up.
Ouch! Didn't know that.
They're done. It's not happening.
They play Liverpool this week. I don't know, man.
No, it's
kind of feel like I don't know. Call me crazy.
If they won,
they're both in free fall.
They would have been 1 point. But I'm sorry. If they won both their games in hand, they would have been 1 point back, and I would have felt a lot better at it. But we're also now Villa to lose games too. So it's just such a big gap with not that many games left.
I didn't know that scenario. BG, I need to apologize to you because you said take Aston Villa serious before the season, and I was like all season long I was hounding you about that, and I always for months now I've been saying Unai Emery is the manager that screws it up at the end. I'm sorry, Unai. I was wrong. Good job. You're in the Champions League with Aston Villa. Nice job.
You should apologize to us because I also I went back and I watched Gnabry's goal. I went back and I watched Gnabry's goal, and I don't know where you see Raya at fault at that. I mean, I guess he could have did better, but I don't blame him for the reason they scored.
Oh, okay. So that's up in the. All right. So that's subjective then. I still feel the same way.
Yeah, it was great.
That's the way you look at it. Subjective, like the way BG looked.
Our defense fucked up on us. Actually, we ran in behind and just tapped it over him. Nothing he could do.
Okay, fair enough. We won't change each other's mind.
I mean, I feel like kind of back to what Real Ryan and I were saying here about the shitbags and top 4 is probably done. Yeah, for them.
I don't know. I don't even know how many. I don't even know where they are in the standings. I don't care.
They're fifth. They're 7 back of Villa. They have a game in. They have 3 games left to play. 2 against Liverpool at Anfield, City at home, and I have no idea who they finish the season with. They are also only 6 points ahead of United. So I think to not fall further and land that Europa League spot. So I still think there's motivation there because they certainly don't want to fall, and they're only 7 ahead of Newcastle in 7th. All 3 of those teams are on 34 games played. So they all have 3 matches left, total of 9 points that can be accumulated.
Wait, Tottenham have 4, don't they?
No, they're 35. They do have 4, 35. They have 4. Yeah, they have 4 matches left, not 3. Yeah. So 12 points. So they're 7 back of Villa with 4 to play. There you go. 2 of those are against Liverpool and City. So they do have 2 games. Wow, they have 2 games left to play. No, this.
Ooh, but you know what you're talking about? They have 3.
I couldn't understand why Mike was rooting for them today, but now I do.
Spurs have 4 matches left to play.
Yeah,
they're on 34 matches played.
Now I do. I wouldn't watch. Because I can't root for them.
Anyway, so it was just a curiosity thing on my end. Is there anybody have anything left to comment on from Sunday at all?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Partey is doing pretty good. If we win the Premier League or if we lose the Premier League, sell him. Do not offer him another contract.
Well, this isn't exactly from Sunday. This is a transfer thing.
Oh, okay.
So, well, to your point, Partey did look good.
Hey, Ryan.
He did look good to that point. Yes, he looked very good.
Ryan, since I have a moment, ESR, Look, Arteta speaks well about
Did he play
him.
on Sunday?
No, that's my whole point.
I'm kidding. I'm
you know?
kidding. Go, Glenn. Go.
It's just my whole point. Dude, we're on the same side here. You don't have to get angry. All right. Does he have a role? Do you see a role for him? Who has to go? Somebody has to go. There's no role for him at the club. We're going to wind up selling him and watch him flourish somewhere else, and it's going to suck ass.
Who? Why do I have to sell? I don't understand what you're saying. I don't. Why do I have to sell anybody?
All right, forget it. It's transferred. Sorry, BG.
I think he's right now. If he doesn't want to play if he doesn't want to sit on the bench for us, then yeah, we sell him and make a profit. If he's happy with coming off the bench, I think there's a place for him.
Okay.
I mean, that's just the reality of it. Unless he shows something, unless he plays his dick off against not Sheffield, against like the newly promoted teams next season. I mean, yeah, he's probably just going to be a bench player for us because I don't think he's going to really accumulate enough minutes to really show what he's got. And we're just getting better, and we're going to be signing better players. And I think we're kind of past the phase of letting the kids do the work for us and the growing together. I think now we're just going to kind of plug and play, not like plug and play, but we're going to be buying players that are really starting 11 players or like fighting to be in starting 11 players. And I think ESR is there, but it's just not enough of a real, like, you know, I guess it's enough because he's training every day under Arteta, but I think a play that we bring in is going to have more of a say whether he plays in ESR just because of, you know, where we are and you know, the money we're going to be spending on players.
I know you guys respect Ornstein, so I'm going to bring up one more transfer. He says Arsenal are open to selling Jesus. You guys against that?
Well, okay, so let me jump in on ESR real quick. It'll be fast. What happened with ESR? We ran out of games to showcase him. You know what I mean? There's too many high leverage games that we absolutely had to win where he just wasn't there yet to get on the field. The same thing's happened to Fabio Vieira. I still think he can be somebody, but we can't play him like seriously now. Like, we got to win all these games. So I think it was just bad timing and us, you know, kind of crashing out of some of these, you know, FA Cups and whatnot. Like, there's just games that were probably on offer for him that he could have played in that he just couldn't. You know, he wasn't going to play in the Champions League, you know, when we're in the quarterfinals. He wasn't going to play, you know, any of these 8 games that we had to win all of them. So that's one thing. And then I'll jump in on Jesus. And I mean, it's crazy because, you know, Arteta said this, you know, he changed our life. You know, the first 10 games last year, I couldn't believe the player that we got for such a great but now we're at a point where, you know, I'm not Gabriel Jesus and I'm not a high performance athlete, but like I've had, you know, an ACL surgery that requires maintenance. You know what I mean? It gets bulky on you. You know, it's sore, it's swollen a lot. He's been getting his knee drained here and there, so there could be a bigger issue there, and that's something he's going to have to manage, you know, his entire career. And are we going to be able to hold on to a guy that's doing $250K a week, who we're now saying is probably going to be a squad player? I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm not surprised that we're hearing this. And as much as I love him, that's just kind of where we're at now. Like, we just, you know, and Ryan mentioned this a second ago, we're just going to continue to raise our floor. And it sounds crazy to say, like, I'm not going to say he's not good enough for us, but to manage that and to have him play, you know, 15 games a season at $250K a week, it's probably not that feasible, honestly, man. So it sucks, but I could see it. I really could. Exactly.
These bodies that we're in, you know, as we get older, they're like cars. They break down and you do what you can to repair it. And, you know, I think that Ryan is spot on. I think he's a shell of his former self. And I just hope we replace him with somebody and don't just sell him and then wonder for weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he gets sold without a backup plan. It's one of those where I think 2 deals will be in the works at the same time, as long as we have someone to replace him. And there's an agreement in place there. Then it's like, okay, and we've got an agreement in place to sell him. Then I think both things kind of happen. But I don't think that I don't think he goes if there's not a reasonable backup plan to it. I am open to selling him though. And it's, as OG has so eloquently said in the past. We're raising the floor now. And in raising the floor, hopefully that also means raising the ceiling. So the roof is the ceiling.
I hope so. Otherwise, it'd be
but-
like Star Wars garbage compactor.
Yeah, right. That I'm absolutely 100% on board. If we can look, I'm on board with selling a player if we can improve on him. I am not on board with selling a player that we don't improve on. So I can't sell off a player and digress in that position or digress with depth if that's what it's going to be. So, if we're going to move Jesus on, the next guy that comes in is going to play that role, but play it better. That's the only option there is. So if it's a Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon in Portugal, if it's an Ollie Watkins, if it's an Alexander Isak, then yeah, absolutely you move him on. But you don't. I'll say you don't go for a Dominic Solanke and move on Gabriel Jesus. That's not a deal I would make.
Really? Okay.
I don't know that I would take Solanke over Jesus. I don't think Solanke has the.
I mean, we're not going to sign Solanke, but yeah.
Well, we don't need to get into that. Anyway, OG.
I mean,
for Glenn's question,
it depends who's coming in for him. It depends how much money they're giving us. It's the same with the Partey thing. If no one comes in for Partey, we're not selling him.
It takes tango.
Yeah, if they're gonna give us $5 million for Partey or like something shitty, not selling him. So to say like, I want to sell all these players, but you need someone to buy, you need a good offer.
I respect that, but you know what? I wouldn't sell Partey for less than 30 million. So
well, that's what I'm saying. So if no one's offering that, you ain't selling him.
Right.
So to say like, oh, he needs to be sold this summer, it's like, well, yeah, it's a lot easier said than done. Honestly though, Jesus, he might be number one on my list of players to go.
Ooh.
Trying to think off the top of my head, but I think he's number one for me.
Aren't you down on Zinchenko too?
That's Tanner. That's not me.
Oh.
But again, it depends how much. Like I'm willing to sell Zinchenko too. I think those are the two players that we just outgrown. I think in this process, in this what does Arteta call it? It's like levels or like phases. I think the phase that we were in was okay, develop a culture and then instill players in said culture that have won it, have been there, have won the major trophies. That is Zinchenko and Jesus. And they're good players, don't get me wrong, but we've outgrown them. I don't think they really fit our style and what we want to do. I think Zinchenko can play niche games and I don't hate it, but if teams come in for him, then yeah, that's a good shout. I thought in the back of my head, I thought about Eddie, and yeah, I would probably lean more towards selling Eddie because we probably also would get more money too. But as far as like players that like, I guess have impact in the 11, I guess Eddie's played a decent amount of minutes, but
this is going to be. Go ahead. Sorry, finish.
No, I guess in closing, it's like you could say that you want to sell players all you want, but if no one's in for them, if no one wants to give you a good offer, then like, do you just let him go on a? I mean, I don't think you can. I think it's still a year left on his contract or two, so you can't really do that. But I 100%. Hopefully, we can get a good fee for Jesus. The problem is, and I did read. I don't know where I read it now. It's kind of bothering me, so I don't know how true it is. But apparently, he's going to need another surgery, or it's an optional surgery. And they're saying if he does the surgery, he's going to be out for a really long time. So it's like, did he do the surgery? And then we probably can't sell him. But then if he doesn't do the surgery, it's like, well, ever since that injury, he hasn't been great. He's had like bits of brilliance. I won't even say moments. I would say bits of brilliance. But it's like, is it worth it? Not for us. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he could do it for a team that like needs that kind of thing to kind of put them at the next level. Like maybe a Villa. I mean, they have Watkins, so they don't. But like, I don't know. Maybe there's a team out there that could suit him. But yeah, no. I have a list of players I'd like to sell, and he's one or two, maybe at worst three.
That's what I worry about, though. And I'm sorry I keep extending this transfer talk, BG. But and Nketiah had brief chances to show something, just like ESR had brief chances to show something. Get us a winning goal. I mean, and I worry that. And Nketiah, what are we going to get? 20 million if we're lucky. I don't even want to think about ESR leaving, so I'm not going to talk about that because I would be really pissed if he left.
I mean, these are going to be good conversations to have at the end of the season. Where, who goes, who stays, how much, things like that. So it's right now it's just last 3 games is the focus. Let's get there and get through this. And speaking of, let's look ahead to Bournemouth, who inexplicably, and I don't know if anybody knows this,
they've been good
in the last 25 games played. They are, well, let me since November 1st of last year, they are 5th in points in the league.
+5 goal differential though.
+5, they're 5 points. Or no, they're
+5.
since
I
November
don't.
1st, they are 3 points off top 4.
I am not whistling past the graveyard.
I
I'm
would
not
do
afraid of them. As they said on Breaking Bad, we are the danger. They are the ones that are shitting their pants, and we're going to beat them easily. We're going to win out, and City is going to slip. City is going to slip.
Keep saying
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I believe it.
I hope if you,
That's
I
why
hope
I'm
if you
saying,
keep saying it.
look. That's a nice clip to make me look like an a-hole. If it doesn't happen, I know it's gonna happen.
Glenn, I don't need clips.
It's gonna happen, bitch.
You do that pretty good on your own.
Love it.
He didn't even hear me.
Oh, okay.
No, it just my point
I'm
being,
listening.
it's like you said. Well, like you just said, Glenn, don't whistle past the graveyard, man. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's look, they're not to be trifled with, I guess is my point, and they're not to be taken lightly. I wouldn't necessarily hate some rotation in the squad, but it would have to be done very smartly, I guess is really the only way I can kind of think of to put it.
We keep saying that it's not happening.
I know. So on the other hand, look, we get 6 days off, 5 days off. I mean,
can I just say something since you guys are talking about this? Win probability against Bournemouth, 80% Arsenal. So I'm not whistling past graveyard MFers. We're gonna win easily.
I hope you're right. I don't worry about this team taking an opponent lightly. In other sports and other teams, I worry about some of my favorite teams in other sports taking teams too lightly. I don't worry about that with Arsenal. I think I stop just short of being as confident as Glenn is, because it is a tough league. And anything can happen. And look, anything did happen 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago when Villa came to us.
We learned from our mistakes. Watching Liverpool fade away the way they did made me think of what we've been doing. We learned from our mistakes. City slipping. They're slipping.
I just, yeah. I don't know, man.
I think Bournemouth is formidable, and they have been good. They beat the brakes off of Brighton at the weekend.
Yeah.
And to your point, they have been good. I honestly think right now we're so locked in. I think everyone's just on the same page. We're singing from the same hymn sheet, whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked that saying, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to take anybody lightly, even though the games will be tough. I mean, we still got to go to Old Trafford, right? And I mean, everyone will agree that they're shit, but we know better, and we're not going to just think that they're just going to give us that game. I don't think any of these teams are going to give us those games. So I think we'll be prepared. Sadly, BG, I don't think we'll rotate. Just because, it's just these games are just too important, and we know how he is with who he trusts, and that circle is probably going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm expecting to see the same lineup we've seen. I guess the only question would be Thomas Partey. I mean, I feel like he should start. I don't know. What he feels if Jorginho maybe gives us a little bit more safety, since when Partey plays, it's a little bit more open. I don't know, but I mean, that would be the only thing that I see. And then, the other only one would be Leo and Martinelli. So, I mean, those are the only two things I'd see us rotate. But other than that, I mean, that's going to be
you and I are definitely singing from the same hymn sheet, because those would be the only two changes that I would even remotely consider making.
Yeah.
OG, anything on Bournemouth rotation subs?
It's going to be interesting. So Tottenham are the most pressing team in the Premier League, so that's why we countered, and that's why we kind of struggled a little bit. Kind of not used to that, which fine. Bournemouth I don't remember, but they're up there. I think they're top 5, and they're a minimum top. They're in the top half. They're going to press us. If I remember correctly, I think for a little bit they did a decent job of it, and then we just kind of destroyed them after we kind of just figured it out. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to be doing I think the Tottenham game also was a good game for us in the fact that it's kind of adjusted us for this Bournemouth game also. Yeah, I mean, all you could do is just take 3 points, just survive in advance. Can't worry about City. Just got to worry about winning the game. That's it. I mean, I would like to see us win like 8-0, but and just win the game. That's it. And I think we could beat any team. We beat City, and City is the hardest team. So we could definitely beat any team. We should win the rest of our games. I mean, we're going to be favored in the rest of our games. So yeah, I mean, Bournemouth are playing well, but we're playing better, and we are better. So just show it.
And we're at home.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So
I mean, home or away, I don't know. I care more. I care less about that kind of, but I mean, it's the same thing applies. Yeah, home or away.
Yeah, I just hopefully the home crowd is there and gets behind us, as I'm sure they will on Saturday. I hate these early kickoffs, man.
Oh God, what time is it? What time's kickoff?
7:30.
Ew.
I'm gonna still be drunk, so it's gonna be fun.
Noise. Why? What do you got going on Friday?
My niece's sweet 16, so
oh my gosh, what time is it?
I'm gonna be like fine, but then like after I'm gonna tie one on probably, and we'll see.
When the 16-year-olds go to bed, game on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good chance that I'll still be awake at 7:30. So I work tomorrow night, and considering how we usually go on Fridays and Saturdays, there's a good chance that I may just sit at the bar and watch the game. Fuck it. Start a game on upstairs and just start boozing at 3 and just drink all the way through.
No.
Let's go.
Do it.
No.
Anyway,
sorry.
Glenn,
is my mic on?
Glenn, give what?
I'm sorry.
Are you?
No,
I thought
good.
you were
I'm
saying,
good.
"Oh no," because I thought I heard your wife's text message.
I was hiding my phone because I knew she was going to. Don't worry about it. I'm here for like 5 more minutes.
I was going to say, yeah, I think we're all pretty much at this point. We've all got to bail out here in the next few minutes. So let's just get into final thoughts, shall we? Real Ryan, I'll start with you.
We started after the unfortunate, Bayern lost with 6 cup finals. We got 3 of them down, 3 more to go. I feel confident that we can do it. God, I hope this season can end in a title, but I'm so proud of what we've done. And I think we might get a little something from City to help us out in that quest. But yeah, just 3 points on the weekend, and we just keep going from there.
Yeah, Glenn.
It just feels right that we're going to win the Premier League title this season. We've suffered so much as a whole generation. It's been 20 years, a whole generation.
All right, I'm interrupting you right now because if I don't stop you right now, If we don't win the title, I'm driving to Long Island and I'm smacking the shit out of your old face.
No.
What? Yes.
No.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta be honest. I tuned Glenn out. What did he say?
Oh, fuck you guys. I sit here and listen to you guys talk about everything.
Glenn, no, you don't. Glenn, no, you don't.
No,
You said I blamed Arteta for Tottenham getting back into the game. What do you mean? You don't listen to us. What are we talking about?
Oh.
Come on.
Anyway,
What?
Glenn, I'm sorry. I'm glad I'm messing with you. Finish your final thought. I do need you to stop short of sucking off us winning a championship, though, because you really are going to jinx it.
Enjoy these last few games because
I like
that. It's going to be a wonderful ride worth taking. And like everybody on the panel said, I'm really proud of these guys, and I'll be super disappointed if we don't win it. But I like what I said before, that BG yelled at me. So I feel that way.
I love you, buddy.
I love you too, man. I love it. How many times do I yell at you guys for something you didn't even do? So yeah, I'd love to listen to everything else, and hopefully she won't text me. Go ahead.
OG, you're up.
It's weird. I've had this inkling for like 2 weeks that I do. I just think that they're gonna fuck up, and I think we're gonna take advantage of it. But I mean, I'm not gonna like swear on anything, and if we don't do it, we don't do it. It is what it is. I have an inkling. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, it's about raising the floor, raising the ceiling. We're doing that, you know, every game, every season. And I like where we're going. You know,
need to change that. I'm always going to think of Star Wars now when you say that. Thanks to PG.
Yeah, and I mean, it sucked that we didn't really put it on them after we were up, you know, 3-0. Sasky Gunnar is talking about. I don't want to talk about Leverkusen. I'm out. I'm over their whole story. Stuttgart were up 2-1 against them, and the refs fucked them, and Leverkusen tied it in stoppage time, the last minute. I was very, very pissed off. And then I guess I thought I was watching a lot of Bundesliga, but I guess I wasn't. Apparently, like Leverkusen has like 8 or 9 stoppage time goals.
Crazy.
Like apparently, it's like it's an ongoing. I guess you could say conspiracy theory that they want them to go undefeated.
It happens sometimes. Think how many times Liverpool and City did that when they were winning titles.
All the time. And you have to look at the. If I find it too, I could. It's crazy gold, but it's insane how many times they scored, and I just. I'm over it now. I don't give a fuck about Xhaka. I don't care that he's there. Arsenal and that it's whatever. You know, I don't want to see any of my team. Obviously, Arsenal are first for me, but I don't want to see any of my team get fucked over like that. Just because so a team can just stay undefeated in a season or unbeaten. Excuse me. But Stuttgart have qualified for the Champions League with Dortmund beating PSG because now the Bundesliga has five Champions League spots. So that's cool. I'm excited about that, to watch them in the Champions League. And
what are you going to do if we get drawn again?
I was just going to say there's a fellow Gunner that I follow. We follow Annie. Oh, I might have fucked it up. Well, I don't think she's watching. She's an Arsenal fan and she's a Stuttgart fan too. Yeah, she's excited. She wants the 2 teams to play because she's like, oh, and then she's gonna go.
Hold that thought real quick. Let's say bye to real Ryan. He's got to duck out, man. Thank you, brother. We'll talk soon, man.
All right, later.
And there goes Glenn too.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of done anyway. But I was gonna mention the Raya thing. Oh well. Yeah, I don't see us moving on from Raya, and I think that's a discussion we're gonna have another time. But I'm really upset that everyone came in the chat at the last minute, but I love all of you, and hopefully we could do this again. We will do it again, but I mean, like, with everybody here. Hopefully we do well on Saturday, and I'm awake and alert and is able to watch the game.
I'll be awake. I'll be alert. I don't know if I'll be out of my own house to watch it. There are actually some people coming into town. So the Pittsburgh Marathon is this weekend, and there are people coming into town who have found the 412 Gooners on Instagram, which is fantastic. And they want to go out to watch the game. I just don't know if I can do 7:30 in the morning and get up and drive to a bar that isn't going to serve alcohol for an hour and a half. Kind of seems pointless to me at that point, but it's not pointless. You understand what I'm saying. I don't know. We'll see. Shout out the chat. Jackson 3-point sniper jumping in there. Bronx Gunners always in the chat. We appreciate that. Sasky jumping in there at the very end. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you. Daniel Shaw is going to help me discipline Glenn if this shit doesn't actually happen. Russ Morgan was in there too. He checked in as well. Yeah, that's it. That's all we've got for you this week. It's a quick one this week. But we will be back next week. Day as yet to be determined. We'll figure that out later. Stay tuned to all the socials for that. If you're on YouTube, definitely drop us a thumbs up on the video. We would appreciate that. Also, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. We are still 6 away from 1,000. Would very, 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 very much like to hit that mark by the end of the season. And stay tuned because we will have great content for you coming in the off season. We'll probably scale back the number of shows we do. But the content will still be great. We'll still have a lot to talk about. So please, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a show. You'll get an alert for that. If you are listening to us on X/Twitter, thank you all very much out there. You're watching on my account, The Bearded Gooner. If you're watching on the Loose Cannons account, thank you guys all very much for that. We're definitely getting a lot more people on that platform. Yeah, with that in mind, that's it. I think that's all we got. It's been good footy talk. We'll see you out there.
Fuck the Leafs. Go.